I had a chance to interview quite a few contractors over the last week, and my national conversations with them as well. And by the way, Ryan, thank you for reaching out in Utah and for the conversation too. So I'll just go ahead and begin, and some great stories of how they've been able to manage through this in a positive way. I spoke to Ryan in Utah, and he wasn't hit as direct as the rest of the nation. About 65% of his workers are in C, and that still hasn't changed much. However, his service and maintenance has dropped about 15%. But he seems to be on target for last year. This is one of the areas that probably wasn't hit as hard as the rest of the country. However, 15 to 20% of his customers are still uneasy having strangers in their home. So they're waiting until he get the other side of it. And I asked him what advice he had for anybody, and this is great advice. He said, don't listen to the national news. Focus on listening to your state and your state directives. Our country is so big, and there's so many areas of the country, especially in rural areas, where they haven't been hit as hard, so the restrictions are a little bit looser. However, everybody is still cautious, right? So the next bit of advice is protect your employees and protect your customers. He's taking great measures to make sure that his employees are wearing masks, gloves, shoe covers, and they're distancing from the customer, taking a direct path inside the home and out. And the customers really appreciate it, as do the employees. The other challenge he's having is keeping employees from coming in to work because they're afraid, right? So you just work with it, do the best you can. Brian, thank you for the tips. That was awesome. Also spoke to some friends of mine in Oklahoma. The very first thing when this hit for them, they're a small organization, is they took a look at their break even, where they had to be to sustain profitability. Then they took a look at their overhead, and they were able to disperse their administrative people. They were able to get virtual phone lines put in their homes. Once they did that for their office staff, they basically dispatched their technicians from their homes, actually shared trucks. Half of their fleet they took off of insurance, and they took extreme measures to lower their overhead to get their break even manageable, so they can get through this without burning a lot of cash, and make sure that everybody was going to be able to be whole when they get on the other side of it. And it looks like it's working well. They're able to serve their customers well. They're not burning up their cash. Their company is solid, and they did apply and were approved for the payroll protection plan, which is excellent. And they should be coming out of this very, very well. Edna, Texas, there's zero cases of coronavirus at all. Business as usual, but people are still fearful for having people coming into their home. So again, set up processes and procedures that protect your people and respect your customers as you go in. They should be in great shape. And then, across the country, I have another contact in another part of Texas, close to Houston, where they've been hit pretty hard. So again, he had to take a look at his operating expense, lowered the break even, was able to get it to a threshold where they could easily sustain and maintain productivity with a skeleton staff without furloughing or laying people off. And he's very optimistic that when the market opens up, he's going to bounce and bounce hard. Now, on the other hand, here's the tale of two stories. I have a client of mine in Eastern Ohio, and another friend of mine, I consider him a friend, not a client, in Pennsylvania. They know each other. The company, third generation in Pennsylvania, closed its doors, let all of his employees go, basically literally shut down his business, and said, look, I'm not going to try to battle this. I'm closing doors, and we're going to rebuild when we get on the other side of it. My other friend in Ohio, unique approach. Him and a couple of other ones have been working with him on this one approach pretty aggressively. Same thing, you know, where's our break even? What can we do to reduce our expenditures every month? How do we get it to a safe place? And ran the whole program to where he was making it happen. But he was smart enough to put enough banked away for about 6 months worth of operating expense. So he's in a very, very good position right now. And he's actually been approached by a couple of smaller contractors to buy him. Since he was diligent in making sure that he was cash strong, kept it in a safe place, then he was able to take advantage of a couple of situations that helped a contractor that was in need, also helped grow the business, which was a fortunate thing. The other thing he did too is he figured out how to sell virtually through Zoom and connect with customers and actually do complete presentations online. He contacted me with that too, and we've been putting together a program for it, but it's working famously for him. So I think these type of situations is going to force innovation and different ways of doing things that we normally wouldn't do. So as you see here, we go through the business model right now. As leaders, on the top part right-hand side, as leaders, our accountability is to make sure that the strategy fits the situation, okay? These are extreme situations. Status quo doesn't work. So the next step, we need to make sure that the cash flow that is going to come in is going to build, and we're not going to be reducing our cash spread. Therefore, we have to reduce break even. And that is exactly what most of these dealers did, right? Management was implementation and performance. So they implement the strategy, and then every day they're measuring results to make sure they're surpassing or at break even so they can sustain operations. And then the front line, which is next, their job is to create a great customer experience. The next step is critical though. Go ahead, Ben, for this. Go ahead 2 more times real quick. So once they perform during the day, the critical information, customer retention, and performance results, that's usually the missing piece. So if we can, customer acquisition and creating a great experience is what we do, but we also have to measure and take a thermometer to our internal customer, the company, to see where it is. So are we retaining customers, and our performance results at a level to where the financial requirements of the organization should be, okay? So once the front line goes to management, they review every day and see what they have to do to navigate through these rough waters right now. That's what most of these companies have been able to do. So I hope this is helpful. We do have a break-even model on HVAC Coaching Corner if you'd like, and be happy to help in any capacity at all. Just give me a call. So God bless, take care, catch you next time.